SAE. Hopefully someone in the people.
So I'm Joshua Zito. I'm this year's technical director, so I handle all of like the engineering and design stuff. Panther Racing is the University of Pittsburgh's Formula SAE team. That stands for Formula Society of Automotive Engineers. We compete in a collegiate design competition every year where we design, build, and manufacture and then race a Formula style vehicle. That's open cockpit, open wheel. There's practically nothing on the car that we don't like at least have some hand in touching. Few things are just like the engine block itself or like the wheels, but pretty much everything else we design or build or modify in some way.
It just so happened that on this damp and misty Friday, Josh and the team were going to be testing the oiling system on the car. They were going to make the engine go brrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr tests.
We actually design a part of our oiling system called the pan. And so what this does is it basically, typically a oiling system will both hold oil as well as move it to the parts of the engine that it needs to be. What we do is we make a separate oil pan that doesn't exactly hold the oil but distributes it to specific parts of the engine. And as you can see, our oil pan is a lot thinner than the stock oil pan you see here. And the benefit of this is it allows us to put our engine way closer to the ground. And what that does is it lowers the weight in it, which is really good for cornering. Today's test will mostly be just verification that our new oiling system adequately replaces the oiling system that comes stock on the engine that we purchase.
Now, if you're thinking, that sounds like a lot of engineering, you are kind of right, the word engineer is literally in the name of the club, but despite this, Josh says there's places for every student in the team, no matter if they're majoring in mechanical engineering or minoring in dance or Quechua or aquatics. A lot of weird minors at Pitt apparently, but hey, there's a place for everyone.
It's open to pretty much anyone, and if you're interested in even just like photography, we have people on the teams who take videography for our car or design the livery. So one of our engineers on the team now, who's going to be co-technical director this year with me, I think he was going to do something more design-wise, but he ended up designing our livery and getting interested in the aerodynamics of the car, and now he's an engineer. So
My time in the Benedum sub-basement at Formula SAE was coming to a close, but there was still one more question on my mind, and I guarantee on the minds of all of you, that remained to be answered. So everybody say it with me. Will the new oiling system adequately replace the oiling system that comes stock on the engine that they purchased? The answer to that question is yes.